All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving headfirst into the world of AI
Oh, yeah.
and how it's going to, completely revolutionize the next 5 years.
It's gonna be
We've
wild.
got a whole bunch of predictions, reports, real-world examples, some super optimistic, some honestly kind of scary.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
And we're talking everything from healthcare to customer service, even like the global balance of power.
hmm
Nothing seems to be off limits, so are you ready to see how AI is going to totally reshape our world as we know it?
I think what's so fascinating is just how fast everything is changing.
Yeah,
Like, this isn't some far off future we're talking about. It's happening now.
right.
These next 5 years are going to be absolutely crucial.
It's like we're strapping into a rocket ship,
Mm,
you know, just blasting off into the future.
totally.
Speaking of blasting off, one area where AI is really going to make a splash is healthcare.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
do you think about that?
Oh, I mean, just imagine doctors being able to diagnose diseases so accurately, sometimes even before you even show symptoms.
That's crazy.
It's not science fiction anymore, though.
Really?
AI-powered tools are already out there, and they're helping to catch things like cancer at these super early stages,
Wow.
which means, more effective treatments, way better outcomes for patients.
It's like having this superhuman medical detective by your side all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
But AI isn't just limited to healthcare, right? I mean, our sources are saying it's going to totally revolutionize how we make things too.
Mhm.
Manufacturing.
Absolutely. Think like smart factories,
We're right, crazy.
where you've got AI running the show,
Uh-huh.
monitoring everything, every step of the way, even predicting problems before they happen.
Wow.
This is like predictive maintenance.
Oh, okay.
And it helps companies avoid downtime, which can be super expensive, but it also optimizes everything. You know, how they use resources and all that.
Oh, that's amazing. What about customer service?
Yeah.
Because, sometimes those automated systems, they can be a bit frustrating.
Yeah, definitely.
But it sounds like AI is going to change all that.
Well, one of our sources talks about how companies are using AI to really elevate that whole experience.
Uh-oh.
So you're talking to a chatbot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't just any chatbot. It can actually understand your needs. It can answer your questions accurately. It can even kind of anticipate what you're going to ask next.
That's so different from those annoying, press one for this, press two for that kind of things.
Right. It's a total game changer. And the really cool thing is it can seamlessly switch over to a real human
Oh, okay.
if it needs to.
I see.
So you're always getting like that perfect blend of automation and, the human touch.
So it's all about finding the right balance.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of things changing, our sources are saying that AI could really shake things up on a global level too. And honestly, some of these predictions are a little bit unsettling.
Yeah, it's true. One of the areas where we're seeing a huge impact is in military technology.
Military tech.
We're talking like autonomous drones, things that could completely transform warfare.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's kind of like stepping into a sci-fi film. I'm not sure if it's one I want to see, though.
I know, right?
It brings up all these ethical questions,
Yeah.
strategic questions, like how do you make sure humans are still in control of these systems?
Especially in a really intense battle situation.
Right, exactly. And what if they malfunction? What if they make decisions that weren't intended?
Scary stuff. Then there's the whole AI race between, the US and China.
Mm-hmm.
That could totally change the global balance of power.
Absolutely. Imagine, a world where one country just gets way ahead in AI tech.
Yeah.
That could lead to some serious dominance, economically and politically.
Wow.
It's not even just about who has the best algorithms anymore.
Right.
It's who controls all the data, the infrastructure, the talent, all the things you need to really make AI work.
It's like a whole new arms race, but instead of nukes, it's all about artificial intelligence.
Right.
Pretty intense. Let's talk about jobs. I mean, that's got to be on everyone's mind.
Of course.
One of our sources said that AI is going to create all these new jobs, which is great, and feels like data science and AI development.
Yeah.
But it also said that a lot of the jobs we have now, especially in retail and manufacturing,
Yeah.
those could be automated.
That's right. It's like this classic disruption.
Disruption.
Yeah, where new tech comes in and shakes things up,
Uh-huh.
creates new opportunities, but also makes some of the old ones obsolete.
Right, right.
And with AI moving so fast, it's going to happen way quicker than anything we've seen before.
So what does that mean for someone who's not, a data scientist or an AI developer? How can people, prepare for this future where AI is everywhere?
I think the key is adaptability. We all got to be constantly learning and growing, picking up new skills.
Okay, that makes sense.
And not just tech skills either. It's about those things that make us human.
What do you mean?
Creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, emotional intelligence,
Right, right.
the things that are harder for AI to like replicate.
So it's not just about learning to code. It's like learning to be more human.
Exactly. Those are the skills that are going to be so valuable in a world full of AI.
Makes sense. We've got AI transforming healthcare, manufacturing, customer service, even the global landscape. We've got new jobs being created, but also jobs being lost.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And, I know a lot of people sent in questions about how AI might affect the distribution of wealth. And honestly, I'm really curious about that too.
Yeah, it's a big question. AI could create all this wealth, but there's also the risk that it could make inequality even worse.
Oh, no.
Like, the rich just get richer and everyone else is left behind.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
So how could AI, make that gap even bigger?
Well, think about it. Companies and people who have access to the best AI tools, they're going to have a huge advantage, right?
Uh-huh.
They can automate more, make better decisions, develop new products faster.
It's like all the advantages that already exist, just amplified.
Exactly. And then when you add in the potential for job losses, it's not a very pretty picture.
It's like this perfect storm for making the rich richer and the poor poorer. Is there anything we can do to stop that from happening?
There are things we can try, but it's going to take some real effort.
Like what?
We need policies that ensure everyone has access to AI tech, education, resources.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
we have to be really careful about bias in these systems.
Bias.
Yeah, we got to make sure AI is being used to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
So it's a huge challenge, but it's one we can't ignore.
Absolutely. The stakes are high, but if we approach this thoughtfully and work together, we can actually use AI for good.
Mm-hmm.
We can create a future that's more equitable and more prosperous for everyone.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking about how AI could totally transform the world.
Yeah.
But now I want to get into something a bit more, I don't know, mind-bending. What about the potential for AI to become super intelligent
Yeah.
or even, sentient?
Ah, the big question.
It's like, is AI going to wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm here?
It's definitely a question that's been around for a while.
I mean, I've always been fascinated by those sci-fi stories
Right?
where the robots become self-aware and they start making their own decisions.
That's a classic.
But is that something we should actually be worried about? Or is that just Hollywood being dramatic?
Well, it's a debate that a lot of AI experts are having right now.
Okay.
And there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
Some experts believe that artificial general intelligence, or AGI,
AGI.
which is basically AI that can do anything a human can do intellectually.
Wow.
They think that could be a real possibility, and it might happen sooner than we think.
So let's say for a second that AGI does happen.
Okay.
What are some of the risks we should be thinking about?
Well, one concern is that a super intelligent AI might develop goals that are, not really aligned with human values.
Mm.
It might decide that humans are actually a threat or an obstacle to its goals.
Right.
And then, it might take actions that could harm us.
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's that classic sci-fi trope where the robots turn on their creators.
Exactly. But even if an AGI has good intentions, couldn't it still accidentally do something bad?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine you give an AI the goal to cure cancer.
Okay.
Seems like a good goal, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it might decide that the best way to do that is to get rid of all humans. Because humans are the ones getting cancer in the first place.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's extreme,
Yeah.
but it shows how important it is to be careful about the goals we give AI.
Right.
We got to make sure they align with, what we as humans value.
So it's not just about making AI smart. It's about making it understand what's important to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we prevent these doomsday scenarios?
Yeah, how do we stop AI from going rogue and turning on us?
Well, there's no magic bullet, but researchers are looking at a few different things.
Okay.
One is something called value alignment.
Value alignment.
It's about teaching AI systems to understand and respect our values.
Okay, so teaching them to be good, basically.
Exactly. And another area is developing control mechanisms.
Okay.
Like kill switches, basically. So if AI starts getting too powerful or doing things we don't want, we can shut it down.
So it's like having an emergency brake for AI.
Exactly. But this isn't just a technical problem.
It's not.
It's philosophical, too.
Oh, okay.
We have to really grapple with some big questions about consciousness, intelligence.
Mm.
What does it even mean to be human.
Okay, that is mind-boggling. But for now, let's maybe come back down to earth a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the more, like, immediate challenges of managing AI.
Right.
One of our sources talked about the need for countries to work together on setting standards for AI.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Because AI is a global thing, right? It's not just one country's problem.
Exactly. If we're going to deal with the challenges of AI, we got to do it together.
So it's like, if one country decides to do something crazy with AI, it could affect everyone.
Absolutely. We need some common ground on things like data privacy, using AI in war, and, that whole super intelligence thing.
So it's like, we need some kind of global rule book for AI.
There have actually been people talking about that, like an international organization for AI,
Hmm.
kind of like the UN, but specifically for AI,
Oh, interesting.
to oversee how it's developed and used.
So like a global AI watchdog.
Exactly. It's about making sure the benefits of AI are shared fairly,
Yeah.
and that we use it to tackle big problems like climate change and poverty.
So it's not just about preventing the bad stuff. It's about using AI to make the world a better place.
Exactly. AI has the potential to do so much good,
Uh-huh.
but it's up to us to make sure we use it that way.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From AI taking over the world to AI helping us solve some of our biggest problems.
It's a pretty wide range.
And you know what?
Why?
We've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah. The world of AI is constantly evolving.
It's crazy.
These next few years are going to be, well, really exciting, probably a little bit scary.
The whole new frontier.
It is.
Now let's bring it back to you, the listener.
Okay.
Knowing everything we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
What role do you want to play in this AI-powered future? We'll be right back after a quick break to help you figure that out. All right, we're back and ready to talk about how you, the listener, can actually be a part of shaping the future of AI.
Yeah.
I know it's easy to feel like, oh my gosh, all this stuff about superintelligence and like global changes.
Right.
It's a lot.
It is.
But the truth is, the choices we make, like every day,
And
those actually matter.
they really do. It's not like we're all coding the algorithms,
Right.
but we are the ones using the apps, buying the AI-powered products.
Uh-huh.
Ultimately, we're the ones who decide what kind of future we want.
So where do we even begin? Like, what
Yeah.
can people do to actually, I don't know, feel more in control, more informed in this crazy AI world?
Well, one of the simplest but most important things
Okay.
is to just stay informed,
Okay, yeah.
read articles, listen to podcasts like this one.
Of course, got to plug the podcast.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to have those big conversations
Okay.
about how AI is affecting society.
So informed, not intimidated.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. Knowledge is power, especially with something as, I don't know, complicated as AI.
It really is.
Now let's talk data privacy. We've been talking about these massive data sets, but on a personal level, what can we do to actually protect our own information?
It's a great question because privacy is more important than ever. Be mindful of what you share online. You know those privacy policies we all just scroll past?
Yeah.
Maybe actually read them for once.
Okay.
Adjust your settings on social media. Look into tools like VPNs,
VPNs, okay.
encrypted messaging apps. Those can add another layer of security.
It's like taking back control from all those cookies that are following us around the internet, you know?
Exactly.
I feel empowered already.
But,
Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
okay.
AI and jobs. How can people prepare for a future where some jobs might just disappear, but new ones are popping up?
Well, the key is lifelong learning. You got to embrace that.
Lifelong learning.
Like the skills that are in demand today, they might not be the ones you need tomorrow.
Right. It's changing so fast.
Exactly. So be proactive. Look for opportunities to learn new things, especially in areas that AI can't easily replicate.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Think creativity, problem solving, communication, empathy.
Okay.
Those are the areas where humans are going to have the edge, even in a world full of AI.
So it's not just about becoming a tech expert. It's about like being more human, more adaptable.
Exactly.
Okay. And, thinking about those new jobs, maybe it's time for some people to switch careers. Like data science, AI ethics, those are hot fields right now.
They are. And if you're into tech and want a career that's, future-proof,
Uh-huh.
those are great options.
Okay. So we've talked about individual actions.
Mm-hmm.
But how can we, like, as a society, push for ethical AI development?
Yeah.
How do we make sure it benefits everybody, not just a few?
Well, There are a few things you can do. Support organizations that are fighting for ethical AI.
Okay.
Engage with policymakers about AI regulations. And honestly, just talk about it
Yeah.
with your friends, your family, your colleagues. The more we have these conversations, the more we can shape the future.
It's like power in numbers.
Yeah,
Right.
it is
Our
really.
individual choices matter.
Hmm.
But when we all come together and demand ethical AI, that's when things really change.
That's when it happens.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI,
Hmm.
what's like the one thing you want listeners to remember?
The future of AI is not predetermined. We are writing it right now with every choice we make, every action we take. So let's choose to be informed, engaged, and empowered. Let's use our voices to shape an AI-powered future that benefits all of humanity.
I love that. A future where AI is a force for good, not something we're afraid of. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. Remember, stay curious, keep learning, and let's build that future together.